Hello, this is a quick video about Holdem poker and its possible combination with mysticism. So the first book I want to mention is Zen and the Art of Archery by Eugene Herrigel. It was a wonderful book I encountered in the 1970s or so, and it inspired me because it had a number of connections between active mysticism, as it's called by people like Thich Nhat Hanh and others, and ordinary activities, whether that's archery or you could expand that to anything else. And at some point I did expand it. I created for myself Zen and the Art of Bowling, and I made a bowling ball and I called it Zazen, and I tried to imbue my activities in a bowling league that with a meditative carriage and approach, and I didn't hide that from anyone. I just tried to integrate the principles of it into it, and I got the impression from Venger that he had an interest in Texas Hold'em, and so I'm mentioning it here as a discussion point and strategizing for Texas Hold'em and trying to understand its relationship to Gurdjieff and the Fourth Way and any of the other things that you particularly enjoy. I'm not sure exactly how they would relate, but I'm interested to hear about that. So I would set the context of this discussion in YouTube as no limit Texas Hold'em poker ring play 9 to 10 seats with no ante. And I'm not at this point distinguishing between point or money play. And what I'd like to mention first is just the part about entering the table, because there are a number of things that can be varied or considered in the bringing in of chips. Let's call them chips, it doesn't really matter if it's chips or money, to a table. One of them is timing and when that's done as one encounters a table. The second item would be the amount of time spent watching other players before sitting down, because you can sit or you can stand near the table and watch, just like at a casino. Another item is there are notes fields available for players at some websites, for example, and such that you could take notes on other people, and you can, and I don't usually need to, I can usually tell how they play just by watching for a good 5 minutes. But you can watch for people who are repeat or routine all-in players, and they may become targets to exploit because they're usually not very circumspect about the way that they bet. There are intermittent all-in, what I call bingo players, and I've learned that because people have told me that that's what they call them. They call them bingo players. They throw all their money in and hope for a good result, and that's how they build up the amount of money that they're playing with. And there are conservative, easy folding players who are more difficult to encroach on the chips that they have at the table. So watching those people, one can identify the types that are at the table and then understand how to go about playing with them, and also prepare for sitting down and perhaps where, which brings up the next question, or the next variable: placement with respect to blinds and position with respect to other players. The placement on the table seems pretty obvious, that you want to come in at the time when you are paying the big blind, because that's the most, that would maximize the time between when you're first paying it and the next time. In the wake of the blind cycle is what I would call it. And the other item is one that I haven't really come to any conclusions about, and it's about where is the best place with respect to players who have many chips on the table, or who are one of those other types that were just mentioned. They may be placing all-in bets on a routine basis, and is it better to be in front of them or behind them, or is it better to be in front of players who have many chips or behind them in sequence? And I have theories about that. I'm not sure that they're well founded, that it is better to be behind them, but I'm not sure. And so these are items to begin discussing Texas Hold'em, and I'll add items dimension to mysticism as I can understand it, and hope that you will make a comment about that.